Good morning, Latin Wealth Club. It's Monday, 5 a.m. Are you getting up and being productive, or are you being lazy and letting that little voice in your head take over your productivity? Well, anyways, today we have a special guest from Wilmington.
Yes, sir.
Ralph Delgado, man.
Yes,
How
sir.
you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man. And then behind the scenes.
AJ.
So today, man, talk to me. I followed you on Instagram. You have a ton of followers, right? And I started following you because I got referred to you, right, from a mutual person that we know. Mm. And I was looking, we're both entrepreneurs. We both kind of follow the same people, but you're on a whole different level than me, right? You're in a whole different chapter than me, right? It's like,
because I'm older.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying that because it's like it's a level I would like to be at.
Cool.
Right. I'm looking at your stuff, and then I see a lot of things. Can you talk to me how you got into entrepreneurship, and then how you got your mindset?
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
a little bit about your childhood.
Yeah, definitely. So entrepreneurship started when I was like 15 years old. Started by throwing parties at backyard parties, flyer parties, passing out flyers, trying to do the best events possible. We started off in backyards. After that, we went to halls. We were renting out halls, filling them up with like thousands of people. First hundreds. There's a bunch of different days where it was good, bad. We kept that consistent for a while, then went on to nightclubs. Same method, passing out flyers, promoting. If like my people that know me know that I was spamming them the whole time through text messages, MySpace, if you guys remember MySpace, Facebook, just like come out and party. During this entire time, I was a DJ, so I was still practicing the art of DJing, and I was a promoter at the same time, so I was doing my own parties. Did nightclubs. After that, we went and worked for a music venue where we put together live music shows. We did tours. We brought great artists to that venue, built great relationships, toured the entire West Coast with a bunch of different artists, and myself as a DJ. That went well, and after that, we transitioned into the printing company that I've always been in. I've always been in the printing business since I was like 10 years old. My dad started a company in the garage, and I never thought I was going to end up being in the printing business, but here we are now, growing the printing business.
So what, you seen it as like, oh, that's my dad thing. Like, I'm never going to get into that.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly that. I always thought it was like my dad's thing. He was a salesman, walking door to door, knocking, getting business, and we would be in the garage fulfilling all the orders that he got. So grew up in the entire business my entire life, so I know a lot of it, from embroidery to silk screen printing.
So when you got into it, you were trying to do your own thing, and then you found out it's what's been in the family.
It's what's been in the family. It came natural to me. Production comes natural to me. During this whole time, I was working on my sales skills when I was promoting. I was working on all my skills as far as like marketing, promotion, ad spend, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, social media, through Facebook, and just working on different skills to basically sharpen my toolbox that I have, But I knew production from a young age. So when we started this printing company, I was the sales guy. I was the one that put us online. And my dad was a production guy. So we kind of built a great team together. In 2020, we did really, really well. This whole time we've been just setting the foundation for that year. And we grew the company like that together.
Okay, so I seen that your father sadly passed away.
Yeah.
And you mentioned al millón y un poquito más, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me, how did that affect your business, if it did?
Yeah.
And if it didn't? And then how you overcame that, because as entrepreneurs, bro, life's already hell.
Yeah. And
I cannot imagine that happening to you.
Yeah.
Just like on the previous interview, we had a guy that lost his kid.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You don't expect that.
Yeah.
You expect to see your parents pass. You don't expect to see a child pass.
Yeah. And with him, though, that led him to his purpose. Mm-hmm. That's what we got from the interview.
Awesome.
Right? But for you, it's a little different, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
So I want to talk about the positive aspects of having him, right? So the first thing would be me and him together were, I would say, an unstoppable team. And we didn't even know it because growing up, we're both men. We're like, I'm probably in my mid-20s thinking I could freaking conquer the world by myself, which is not the case.
Everyone thinks that.
Yeah, at that age, you think you know everything, So, I mean, I was one of those guys. So I'm speaking from experience.
I was just that guy last year.
Right? I mean,
So,
that's good, right?
I can't lie.
No, yeah, you can't. And he was also that person too. We're men. So he knows, he thought he can take over the world by himself. But life humbled us both. Definitely humbled us both. And we realized that together we were an unstoppable force. So we did really, really well when we were working together. We built the company to where it's at now. He set the solid foundation for what we have now, the systems, the procedures, the resources that he had over 20 years of experience that I basically now
Inherited.
have. Yeah, now I have those resources and skills that he taught me regarding production that I never thought I would need. Full circle, I 100% need them. So his resources and everything that he had, his network of people, the respect that he had in that industry now is all passed on to me. Right. And I still have to prove myself every day regarding that. So great team. After the passing, it was, that moment, the entire 6 months when we were going through, because he passed away from cancer, was difficult for the entire family. But we took it as a challenge. We didn't take it as like, we're going to give up.
Yeah.
We're very family oriented. We're strong. We're like, we're just hard workers. We're not going to give up to anything. It doesn't matter what it is. The only person or only higher power that can take my dad or just kind of crushes is God.
Of course.
Right. So other than that, we kept pushing forward. It made us way, way stronger. When he passed, we took about maybe 3 months of a break. It was an entire year trying to like work and accommodate my dad as well during those times. He would still go to work though. He would still show up after his chemotherapy. He would still go to work. He was always there. So now
That's
I reflect on it. Yeah, exactly. He loved it. Now as I reflect on it, I see that. And for me, there's never no excuse not to go to work. There's never no excuse not to show up. You always show up. Because if he was able to do it on the worst day of his life, which was during these chemotherapies, what the hell? Like, no one else should not have an excuse not to show up. Yeah. So even during that chapter when we were dealing with cancer, it was still a learning experience. It made us stronger, it made us more closer to God. It made us more closer to our family and our team that was helping us during this time because we had the company going. So that really, really brought us together. After he passed, we took about 3 months trying to like regain the momentum that we had going forward, and we just came out guns blazing after that because we didn't let that stop us. We were like, nope, we got something to prove, and we're still in that period where we're like, he did not pass for nothing. We're gonna make sure that the legacy lives on through me as his son, and through my family, and through everyone that he inspired to. So that's what we're doing now. We're in that process of making sure that his legacy lives on. We have a foundation under his name, and the company is growing. It's growing, not at it's up and down like every other company.
Of course.
It's up and down, but it's definitely on a path going up.
Where does his mindset come from, bro? Like, God, like I have that mindset, right? Yeah. But it's like I get that from seeing people like you, right? Learning from that, feeding from that, and then applying that to my own life. But the whole family thought this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was this your dad? Your dad was like this, like growing up? Like, how was it growing up?
So it's so funny you say that. I was just driving up here right now and thinking about that. I'm like, my dad, I think, really conditioned us from a young age because we were soccer players, being my sister and my other sister too. She did sports as well. Even in school, like we had to be super disciplined. We had to wake up early, run miles when we were part of the soccer team at school. So he was raising real, like, I don't know if this is the proper word to say it, but like killers. Like, that's what we are. We're out there. And I don't mean it, killers, but I mean it like the mindset of an assassin. Like, nothing's going to stop us. There's nothing that's going to stop us because he instilled that since a young age. Discipline, hard work, and get smarter. Discipline, hard work, and get smarter. So we were always doing that without us even knowing, because some people push discipline very aggressively, but he was doing it very strategically to where now we kind of had that mindset. Like, we're just like that. We're very, like, we were conditioned that way growing up. Not a family. We were a family that had nothing. Like, we really were extremely just financially bad. But the thing we had was really solid parents. Yeah. You know, we had really solid parents. So that's where it comes from. I give it all to my parents for sure.
I'm the same way, bro. Yeah. Like people sometimes ask me, like, bro, like, because back when I was like 18, I mean, I was drinking and stuff, right? I mean, I wasn't.
We all were. Yeah, we all were.
I was out there and, you know, getting effed up, you know? And I'd be out, dude, 2, 3 in the morning, and I promise you 6 a.m., I was detailing a car. Yeah.
You had to do what you had to do.
And people were like, how the hell? And I go back to the same thing, bro. My parents. You know, I mentioned to you my parents just accomplished 7 consecutive LA marathons, bro. That's
inspiring.
So it's like, they weren't doing this my whole life, right? Yeah. But they were hardworking, same thing, not financially stable and stuff like that. But they taught me the same thing. It's like, wake up early, because I would have to go to school, because if they worked so much, I would have to go to school at like 6 a.m., like to the before school programs. To try, and then I would have to stay at the after school programs. Exactly. Yeah, dude, I was like at school for like 12 hours a day.
Long days.
Yes. But they taught me, like, you know, waking up early, getting ready, and then being presentable, and then, you know, going through my day on a schedule. Yeah. Right. So now that I apply that to my life, I see it's so simple and so easy that when I see other people not doing that, I'm like, how are you not doing that?
Yeah. I understand that.
And it's the same thing. I go back to, I was conditioned this way.
Yes, conditioned. Exactly. You were raised this way. I mean, my parents gave me the values, right? So discipline, hard work, being humble, always strive to be the best, personal excellence. Like, we have values that we stand for. Like, my family has these values.
Of course.
And then, you know, experiences in life, the ups and downs in life, people that you meet that teach you things, reading books, content, and consuming content, that also has shaped me to the person that I am now.
Now, okay, so consuming content, right? You're 10 years older than I am.
Yeah.
What kind of content were you consuming before?
So,
like, before social media and all that?
I mean, before social media, so let's say between 10 and maybe 18 years old, my dad would make us read books or the newspaper just to learn, and he would make us write summaries. So he would always do things like that. So we were consuming content. He would always read books too, and we saw him reading books. So definitely through that. 18 to like 25, YouTube started coming out. So I started consuming content from YouTube.
Oh, what kind of content?
People. It just depended what I wanted to be better at. So let's say during my DJ era, I was consuming just a bunch of DJ content, right? And I would see how people would teach, how I would learn from them, what kind of content really stuck with me, right? So from there, that was kind of like my phase as far as content, consuming content. And then after that, I kind of started going into podcasts. I started liking long form podcasts. I liked interviews, and started really engaging with these creators that were putting out content. So it's just, for me personally, it has always been like entrepreneurship and learning skills. Yeah, that's the type of content that I like.
That's the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even when
obsessed with it.
Even when I'm playing video games, like when I was younger, I'd always go on YouTube and be like, how to get better on like certain things of the video game, and then learn on there.
Yep, exactly.
It's the same thing. It's either I'm learning or entrepreneurship.
When I was younger, I used to play video games too, and we would go to the swap meet, and in the swap meet, they used to have books on how to be better at those specific video games.
No way.
Yeah, back then. So it would tell you like all the cheat codes. Like back there was like cheat codes, how to unlock something. So we'd always get those books and we would read them and then go apply them on our PlayStation or whatever.
No, you're right. I remember that because they had that like book fairs too. Yeah, and then we used to buy the GTA ones. Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
so we would always be getting those books too.
Yeah, damn. But I was really young. I was in elementary school. But we used to buy those too. Yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, we've always been consuming content, all types of content.
Damn, I didn't really realize that was content. Like that was a form of content.
Books, everything's a form of content. Everything you consume is content.
Wow. And then
content's now like social media, right? That's like for sure. I mean, but it's still content.
But going back to your dad, dude, your dad's strategy on how he raised his kids, I've been telling my girlfriend for like the longest. I was like, when we get married and we have kids, like I want to raise my kids this way, that way, so they have this type of mindset. It's the same thing, bro. Like when you condition, you're right. You're conditioning killers, but you're like killers of society. Yes. Someone that's gonna go out there and is going to have the confidence and is just going to have like the drive and the ambition to say, I'm going to go do that and nothing's going to stop me.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
That's That's great.
Yeah, he did that.
That
man.
is great.
He really did. And one of our values too, as a family and in my company, is like we're also we know what we can do. We know we're hungry. We know we're ambitious, but we're also extremely humble to where we can learn from anybody.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter who it is. We can learn from anyone. We can learn from someone, whatever you want to call it, younger than us.
Yeah,
someone older than us, someone that we don't want to be like. We can still learn. So that was one of our main values, was being humble enough to learn. That's what my dad always had us do.
I think humble sometimes gets like different definitions.
Yeah.
And people perceive it different ways. Because like I would always say fuck being humble.
Yeah.
Personally. Mm-hmm. Right? But to me, humble was being used as a form of disrespect. Like, oh, humble yourself.
Got it. Yep.
So how do you expect me to think of the word humble by that?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna like it.
For you it has a totally different definition.
Right?
For a lot of people it does.
So then as I started getting older, I had to realize that what it really meant. Mm-hmm. So then that's when I know, okay, cool. It really just means I have to just understand I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And that I have to learn from every experience from life or every person.
Yep.
Right. But talking about your team and your business, how is it being a leader?
Good question. It's a privilege. More than anything, it's a privilege because you get to be a leader, but with that comes a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
I think everyone's a leader to a certain extent, whether you don't have a business or not. You're a leader of a family. You might be a leader of a friend group. You might be a leader of a community. Whatever it is, everyone's a leader. I believe that everyone influences someone else. So at that point, you become a leader, even if it's just one person. So we all have that same responsibility to be leaders. It just gets bigger depending on where you're at in life. For example, we currently have anywhere from 30 to 50 different team members that help us run our business. And I'm a leader there, but I haven't been a leader of a family with kids because I don't have kids. So at that point, I'm going to be a different type of leader. With that comes different responsibilities.
You're right.
So maybe right now what life is doing is sharpening my business leadership skills to be an even better father when I become a father. So with that comes time, with that comes experience. It's stressful for everyone. It's just at what extent do you want to take it to, leadership. But it is a privilege. It is a privilege to be a leader. I highly believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how is it being a leader though? Like how do you live your day-to-day life being a leader, and being a normal person? Because as we know, it's tough.
Yeah. How is it being a leader?
Because you manage more people than I have ever managed, bro. So
it's a sense it's a sense of responsibility that you have to, one, just accept. It is what it is. You're in this position. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
A lot of what I do is put myself through tough situations purposefully to be able to be the leader for that many people, right? Or whatever it is. So I run marathons. I don't like running all the time, but I do it because I have to condition myself to be able to handle the stress. So I'm always trying to sharpen my skills as a leader. I'm always trying to get better in every aspect possible because, like I said, it's a privilege to be a leader. It's a privilege. So I have to be able to be there for everyone that needs me.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to one up yesterday. But like everything else, there's ups and downs. Some days I really don't feel like it. Some days I fall. Some days are harder than others. Some days are easier than others.
Yeah.
But I still manage to push through because of the skills that I'm practicing every single day as a leader.
What about building a team, man?
Building a team, I come from a background where I played sports. So being part of a team has always been something I love. I love winning championships. I love really knowing that every single person in a certain position added to that championship. I love having a coach. I love having a director. I love having, people that cheer us on. I just love the entire team aspect of it. So I grew up in team form, whether it was in a classroom or winning championships with my soccer team.
So it was just easy to build a team when it came to your business.
It was fun, not easy. Easy, it's difficult having to make certain decisions.
What do you mean by fun?
So I love building teams because at the end of the day, I like to reflect, sit back and see like, whoa, everyone's really doing their part. Everyone's really good at this and really good at that. And we switch this person with that person to make the company even bigger. This person works well over here, doesn't work well over here. So it's just about that. To me is fun. That I like seeing people succeed within our company or within our community that, you know, we were able to help. So I love that. It's fun to me. It's really fun creating teams.
And what does first meal mean to you?
First meal is a mindset. It's a mindset of always pushing forward, always reaching that goal. You hear rappers talk about the first million, the first mil. You know, that's where it comes from. So it's about having big goals. So it's basically my dad's quote too, al millón y un poquito más.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where it comes from. Whenever anyone hits the first mil, whenever anyone reaches that goal, I believe that what has worked for many companies, including us, is that we reinvest back into the company. At that point, for you to hit that first $1 million, let's say even in sales, you have unlocked certain skills, right? And you don't want to stay trapped at that first $1 million. You want to keep growing. So reinvest everything back into the company or into yourself.
When you actually do it.
Yes, when you actually do it. Even during that time, you have to keep reinvesting. I say that for people to reach $1 million in sales or in your bank account, whatever, let's start off even smaller, like $100,000. You have to unlock it. Life will not give you the $100,000 if you don't know how to manage it. Maybe he will. I doubt it. Because you have to be a person that can handle those $100,000. If you can't handle, you're going to blow them in a year. I guarantee it. You can blow those in like that.
Yeah, it happened to me.
You know, you blow it like that. It happens to you. It happened to me too. And we have to rebuild. But what do we gain? Experience.
Yep.
What do we gain? You know, now the fortitude to go get those again.
Oh yeah, easy.
You know, your back's against the wall. Now you're going to go and push. So it happens often. Is just now from the experience that I have is just reinvest back in what you want.
Yeah.
Reinvest back first in yourself more than anything. I think that's the best investment you can do.
Nice. Yeah. Damn, bro. That hit.
Yeah, man.
Damn. So you already have clothes out for first meal and everything?
Yeah. So our brand is out there. We push it. We haven't fully dived into it completely. Whatever the word is. Into it completely. Because we're working on the printing company. So that's our main focus. I think from experience, I tend to distract myself a lot with side projects and what I want to do now, what's new, what trends. But in my company that we're at right now, the reason why we will be successful and keep being successful is because we're outlasting everyone that's not. You know, most people, 6 years, they say like, okay, they've been in business for a while. I'll see you in 15 years. We'll see where your company's at in 15 years. You'll see where my company's at in 15 years because I'm not going nowhere. So that's one of the reasons why we haven't really touched the first meal brand yet, because we're really focused on our printing company right now.
And when do you think you're going to be at a point where you're going to be like, okay, time for me to step away
from the company?
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes with time because you have to get the right people in certain spots. You have to know what your strengths are. You have to know what the strengths of the people you're hiring on, and if they're going to be able to substitute what you do. No one's going to do as a business owner 100% of what you do. But if someone can get close to it, that's when I'll remove myself from my position that I'm in. Throughout our 6 years in business, I started printing. Now I don't print as much anymore. I started doing the listings on Amazon, what we do on Etsy. I started doing all that. So each year I tend to remove myself from certain positions and add better people or add a better team there. So we're always growing.
Damn.
Yeah. Every year.
Crazy.
Every year.
So are you focused more on quarter over quarter or is it year over year? Like what do you focus on when
10
you
years. do? 10 years. So I'm more focused on the long term. For the past, first 3 to 4 years, it's more about like this year. What are we going to do this year? Let's get $1 million in sales this year. Let's get $2 million in sales this year. Now, with experience, I think it's more like a 10-year plan. You know, what am I going to do in 10 years? There's micro plans. There's micro goals of a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. There's micro goals that we have, but we're really focused on the long-term goal, the 10-year goal. So that's why
you know how much you want to be valued at. You want,
yes,
everything.
That. Yep. We know how much we are valued at now. We know how much we want to be valued at later. And in 10 years, how much we're expected to be valued at. Things might change. The economy changes. There's variables that come in and out.
Of course.
We might be valued more. We might be bankrupt, but we're going to do everything possible to have a steady growth through what we do.
Okay. And then how was it getting your company on like the top 5,000?
Yeah.
Or what was that? How was that, man?
That's actually
Talk about that
that's
experience.
awesome. Yeah.
No worries. He's getting dehydrated.
Yeah. So when we first started the company, we've always had goals. When we bought our first printer, we went to the warehouse to pick it up. And the guy back there was like, "Oh, you guys are getting your first printer." And we're like, yeah. He's like, we're super excited. He's like, well, there's this guy that has like 15 of these. And we're like, 15? That's insane. Like to us at that point, it was crazy. So we set a goal that in 2 years, we're going to have 20 printers. It took us 3 years, but we got to the 20 printers. Our goal, the second year of being in the business, was to have $1 million in sales. 4 years later, we had the $1 million in sales. And one of our goals 3 years ago was to be in the Inc. 5000. We got it in 2 years that time. So it's really cool because I don't think it's me personally. It's my team. And they get the recognition. Everything they've put in. The people that believed us from the start. The people that have really been a part of our company. That have grown it. That believe in our values and what we stand for. So it's a recognition to them. To me as a leader of the company, it's cool to see my team recognized. That's what I care about the most. Like every single person there, they're the reason why we're at.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
Now I see from your shirt, we both like Andy Frisella.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me, man. What has he done for your mindset?
He's okay. Let me,
because I know that that guy, bro.
I can't talk highly
gets
about him.
He gets me like ramped
I-
up, bro.
I-
I play him in the morning, bro,
Yeah.
and I'm ready to kill the fucking day, bro.
Exactly. And I think for a long time, when I was consuming content, reading books, which I still do every single day now, I know what type of person I want to learn from.
Yeah, me too.
So first and foremost, it's going to be my dad. And there's going to be different messengers. Now, I think you listen to a bunch of different, we all do listen to a bunch of different people, but we will all learn from them. The one that I can definitely resonate with the most is Andy Frisella. Why? Because of his values and what he stands for.
Oh, yeah.
He grew up very similar to what I did, through sports with a brother. So I definitely can relate to him.
Yeah.
Now, I've been following him for 7 years, since before I started the company, maybe a little longer than that. And everything that he has said throughout this entire time, I've used. I frankly prayed to God that I wanted a blueprint to how to live and how to be successful. And somehow I got a blueprint, and he was one of those people that helped me build this blueprint that I have. And I just execute on it.
Was it 75 hard? That
75 hard was one of the things. I followed him 3 years before that. I had followed him way before that. So I was consuming his business content. His first podcast was the MFCEO project. And I would listen. I would take notes. I would implement that right away. After he did the MFCEO project, he launched his new podcast, which is Real AF, and 75 hard. So before I was literally one of the first, not first, but I was his initial group, of 75 hard. And I did it. And at that time, I didn't know what I was really getting into. But now that I see it, it's really helped me shape the way that I live my life.
I got to do it, bro.
You have to.
And
I'm
just scared to commit. Yeah, I'm just scared to commit, bro.
I'm going to tell you something.
There's
another 23-year-old that's probably doing the exact same thing you're doing, but he's doing 75 hard. He's going to kick your ass every single time. I promise you he will. He will. I'm telling you, because everything there forms you to who you are. You don't want to get your ass kicked, do you?
Fuck no.
Exactly. So you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that is one of the programs that I highly recommend every single entrepreneur to do. Every single person to do. My team did it. All our team.
You made the whole team do it?
I didn't make them. They wanted to.
What the fuck?
Yes. We've ran marathons together. My entire team.
You and all your employees?
Yes. Team members.
Team member.
Yeah. Oh. They're part of my team.
My bad.
No, it's not good. I mean, it's an employee, but they're my team members. They're part of my team. So they've done it.
That's right.
And it's not an accident why we're in the Inc. 5000.
Yeah.
It's not just me. It's
the
because
team.
of them.
Yeah.
And because of the work they put in. You
Yeah.
see, I have one really good friend. His name's Luis. He's been on a podcast with me before. He used to weigh 320 pounds. He went all the way down to 220.
You know why your team was more than willing to do the 75 hard and not have commitment issues?
Why is that?
Because of the culture you run in your company.
Yep.
Talk to me about that. I want to know more about that now.
So our culture...
You must have a great culture, bro.
I believe we do, because it's a culture of excellence, a culture of getting better. Like we love each other. We work hard, but we're focused on winning. Yeah. We want to win.
That's right.
Like that's what we want. We want to win. So that's a culture I've instilled, the culture my dad instilled in us. I'm just sharing it with my team and whoever comes across me. So that's the culture that we have. We have core values that we stand for, what we are as a company and what we are as people. So we always go back to that. Like right now, are you being humble when I'm trying to tell you something that might benefit the company? So we use that as like rules to filter everything that we do. Yeah. So our values are super important, and that builds our culture.
Damn. Hey bro, we're lacking culture, bro. That's what's going on.
It starts with values.
Yeah,
we're a little bit of culture.
Yeah, we're I'm gonna have to. You know what? We've been wanting to put something on this wall here.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put some keywords.
Put your values.
Something. Yeah,
what you stand for.
Exactly.
Like, what did you want?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
for?
exactly.
It stands for making people better, whatever it is. Values, and then every decision that you guys make as a company, you go to the wall.
We're lacking culture.
I like that you go back to the wall, look at it.
Yeah, and
but I gotta get this guy to do the. Remember, I told you that we have a watered down version of it, the 60-day program. I gotta get this guy to do it with me though.
Do 75 hard, man.
Let's do it, bro. If you're down, I'll do it with you.
75 hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's 2 workouts a day.
Yeah.
You got to eat right. Mm-hmm. You have to drink a gallon a day.
Want to read a book.
And then just to read a book, right?
Read a book and take a picture.
And take a picture of yourself, a selfie, like a mirror selfie.
And one workout is indoors, one workout is outdoors. You can do both outdoors, but one has to be outdoors.
My 60-day program is just one workout for an hour, at least an hour a day.
Yeah.
Eat right, no sugar, no carbs, and then gallon of water a day.
Okay, that's good.
But no reading. You see,
the reading is the important part, man. I mean, so for everyone is different.
No, the reading part is important because you need the mindset. If you're going to transform yourself, you can't just transform your body. You have to transform your mind with it.
Exactly. And I think that program just is perfect because there's someone out there that enjoys reading. For me, I didn't at first.
Nah.
But there's also people that enjoy reading, but that person doesn't like going out for a workout. So it takes everything from everyone's weakness, like either going out or reading. Because I'm sure there's people that love to read more than I do. And for me, it's a little bit easier to go out for a run because I was conditioned to be an athlete since I was a kid. So it just summarizes for everyone.
The program works
for everyone.
Yeah,
it works for everyone.
It works.
For everyone. So it does work. Like I was telling you, the entire team did it. My wife's done it. My sister's done it. It's changed our culture in our company.
Have you ever had to convince someone to do it, or has everyone in your life been open to doing it?
So when I was maybe younger, maybe a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I would push people to do it. I wanted them to do it. I've learned that I just have to lead by example. I can't set my expectations on other people.
That's right.
People tend to live very hard lives if someone tries to set expectations for them. Those expectations are mine. Mm-hmm. They're not theirs. So, and it hurts me too sometimes that they not doing what I see their potential is.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. I think that is the hardest part of being a leader.
It breaks your heart, dude.
It does.
It like when you see potential in somebody, like I've had plenty of people, like employees, right? Dude, I like that though. Team members and stuff. Like, I like the culture you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
Whenever I've had them, and I see their potential, like, okay, you're a hard worker, you're this and that, but you're lacking this, you're lacking that. It's like you don't know how to tell them because you don't want to make them feel bad or anything, right? And then you feel bad because you're like, dude, you could be doing so much better. Yeah. Like, and then you're like, but you have to come to realize you can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped.
Exactly. You've heard the saying, right? You take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink the water.
Exactly.
Right? There's perspectives to that. I think I've placed myself to where, okay, I'm the perspective from someone telling someone what to do or seeing them on their full potential. But now I've also put myself in their perspective. Like, everyone has a different messenger. You listen to certain people, you get things from certain people because it resonates with you.
Yeah.
Maybe your message that you're telling them doesn't resonate with them. They didn't grow up like how you grew up, being competitive, being hungry, being conditioned to just kill it at life.
I just always thought I was the best.
I feel you.
It was like I was called cocky when I was a kid for
okay.
a reason. You know, it's I don't know.
It's
I
a
just
mentality
had a high
that you have.
confidence.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Exactly.
a mentality that you grow up with. You know,
and it's funny because I was telling Adrian, and I was like, bro, I feel like I was born with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I just feel like it's
Your
so
family.
natural. But then you come to realize it's the way you grew up. It takes so
100%.
many factors. You have to just. You have to view your life, and it's kind of weird to say it like this, but you have to view it from a third person point of view.
yes, exactly.
And then
that's the best way to see it.
How you got yourself there. And once you start thinking that way, you start seeing, okay, now you can start seeing some of the friends you had growing up and seeing them from a third eye.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's why they act this way.
Exactly.
Oh, that's why this, that's why that. And you're like, oh, or you remember so-and-so's parents were like this, and you're like, no wonder why he's like this now.
Exactly.
And you're like, you just start putting all the puzzles together, and you feel like you figured out life.
Yeah. At that point, right? At that point, you feel like you figured it out.
You're like, I know what's wrong with you.
No, yeah,
like you feel like almost like a therapist.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my wife, we always talk about things like that, how we grew up more than nothing to try to make us better. Like, okay, what did you lack? What did I lack growing up? So those won't be weak points for us as a couple, you know.
What's funny, my girlfriend and I've had similar conversations, but we've talked about how like certain things in our lives had affected us differently on the way we think, on the way we act, you know. And we it's like you come to realize that, and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
But like it takes a certain mindset and then a certain mental capacity, you could say. I'm not calling anyone dumb, but it takes a certain level of like to see it that way.
Maturity.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maturity, you know. For example, our family is very emotional, right? Very emotional to where we're very just because we're hungry, ambitious people. Like we love to help, we love to do. So my wife is more very controlled with her emotions, more rational. So we both have to come across and like realize, okay, are you being emotional? Are you being rational? Like, let's both come together and bring both of our conditions or traits to be better as one.
Yeah.
And that comes with team. That comes with any relationship that you're in. It doesn't necessarily need to be a wife and a husband. It could be a friend.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a team member. It could be a coworker. It could be someone you're working for.
It goes back to culture.
Yeah.
Right. That's the type of culture you have with your wife.
Yep.
Right. And there's a different type of culture you have with your business.
Exactly.
And then it's just a matter of how you manage those cultures and how you drive those cultures to become better every single day, to stack those wins day over day, week over week, month over month, year over year, decade over decade. Because I know you're a decade guy now.
We're decades for sure.
Damn. Yeah. So we're on the same boat. Because dude, you were just saying everything. I was like, damn, this is what goes on in my head every single day.
Yeah, man. It happens.
But you know what it is, bro? Is I soaked in all this information that sometimes I'm like hesitant.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what
You've
I
heard
need
the
to
term,
do.
right?
And you know
What's
what
The
my
term?
little bitch was?
No, the term where you're hesitant. You consume so much, but you stay hesitant.
No, I don't know
It's
that
a
term.
paralysis by analysis. So you've consumed so much that you don't even know what to do. You're like,
And I know how to
seem
do it.
everything now, but I'm just paralyzed.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot when people consume so much content.
But yeah, like it's funny, right? Because it's like I consume so much. I literally know how to make $1 million. It's just me holding me back. Or like Andy says, it's my little bitch voice.
Little
you
bitch
know,
voice,
just fucking holding me back.
Yep.
So it's like that's what actually like going to my business, right? How I got to 2 vans and 4 employees when we were at that time at that point. It was because of that. I was on my fitness. I was on everything. I was doing everything, right? I just was not reading books, right? Like I told you, I create my own, and I kind of.
But you were consuming content, though, right?
Yes, I was consuming.
That's good.
So you could say my audio book during that time was Andy Frisella.
Yeah, got it.
So like you could say my reading was just listening to Andy Frisella for like 12 hours a day because I would like play. I would go on YouTube and they had a whole playlist of his podcast, and I would just replay.
Everything, yeah.
So I would get home and I'd be like, don't be a little bitch. Don't be a little bitch. Like I'll just be telling myself that, telling myself that. Yeah.
And it's good that, I mean, a lot of people tend to see that too. Maybe nowadays that
Degrading.
calling yourself a little, exactly. Calling yourself like a little bitch. It's not in a bad way. It's like we all tend to have that little, whatever you want to call it, another person that I follow calls it the law of average, or what is it called? Point is that instead of a little bitch voice is just this force force of average, trying to pull you back to be average. So you have to push yourself away from that average.
I like that though. That's
so it's
a great
force
concept.
and average. Yeah, it's the force of average, and you're trying to break away from that.
Nah, but the little bitch one, like, it's
To
funny.
me, it
though.
hits.
The little bitch one hits, but
Yeah.
everyone could relate. Mm-hmm. Every entrepreneur that I've been like, hey, bro, so, I talk about this little bitch voice.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that. Like,
Yeah.
they already know
Yeah, it
exactly
clicks,
what
right?
I'm talking
Yeah.
about. They know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, we all go through it.
Yeah,
bro.
we all have it. Everyone has. Everyone knows.
It's
what
like
they have
mental
to do.
battles, and then the reason why I know about the degrading is because I told my therapist about that. I was like, yeah, bro, like, I can't be a little bitch.
Yeah.
And he was like, what you call yourself? And I was
Yeah.
like, he was like, that sounds degrading. I'm like, bro, it's motivational, okay? And he was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
maybe for him or that person it
no,
might be degrading.
well, I mean, no, yeah, exactly. And I told him, I was like, maybe for you, but for me,
Yeah.
it's motivational. This keeps me going,
Yeah,
bro. Like, I
exactly.
wake up in the morning, like, during that time, bro, I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, I want to stay in bed, and I'd be like, don't be a little bitch. And I'll just get up. Like,
Yeah.
I would literally say it out loud
Yeah.
too. Like,
No, yeah.
my girlfriend would hear me be like, who is he talking to?
For sure, man. My wife knows all of these. I've been with her 18 years, so she's seen my entire transformation.
And you just got married?
Yeah, so she would actually be a great person to interview regarding like the path that we've taken, because she's seen it from another perspective too.
That's a third person perspective.
like,
And that's
she's seen everything.
And that's seeing the rants of Ralph.
Exactly. Yes, the worst of the worst, the bottom of the bottom, like everything.
Ralph
like,
getting home and crying.
Yes, exactly, man.
Because
Or-
we know those days.
Oh yeah, man. It happens. It happens. When just waking up saying, "Don't be a little bitch," and I have to get up and go. Like I've done that so many times, and she hears it. So she knows.
Or like what I would do is I would just like I just try to do something
Yeah,
sudden
just
and just
get up.
like get
Get
up,
up and
like
go.
wake your body up
Yep.
real quick,
Yep, exactly,
And then I
man.
tell him too, because when I was trying to do the 60-day program, I was like, "Come on, Adrian, do it," and then he was like, "Oh, bro, like I'm like 3 days in," and he would stop, right? And I'm like, "You let your little bitch voice take over." He'd be like, "Yeah, man."
Oh,
Like,
yeah. It happens. It happens though. It happens. Just got to get back on it for
well,
sure.
I think when it comes to the working out one part of it, it's only the first week that takes time.
Yeah.
Dude, by
Did you
the
play
fifth-
sports growing up?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played
It comes
baseball,
more
though.
natural to you too.
Soccer.
Got it.
But I played baseball, so I didn't run like everyone else or anything like that. Yeah, it was different.
Okay,
It was it's more of a mental game.
Yeah, but you still have that mindset too of like winning.
Oh yeah, all day.
So that's where it comes from too. I'm sure.
I used to fight my own team members.
Yeah.
And we didn't win.
Really.
Yeah, like there's been times where I was like, where I knew why we lost because I would. I was into the game the whole time, so I knew the reason why we lost. I knew if you messed up and you cost the game, even though you think you didn't, I know you cost the game because it was that play that they scored, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I knew that.
Yeah.
So I remember one time I told some kid, "You suck." He got mad and we got down.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Shit happens, man.
I was like, "We're winning that game, bro."
yeah, no, I get it. I get
You
it.
should have
You're
caught
super-
that
you're
ball.
competitive,
And
you're
dude, I was
competitive.
so competitive and I was so passionate.
Yeah,
Right? I was obsessed. Right?
yeah.
The same way I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship now, I was obsessed about sports back
Got
then.
it.
But yeah, it was just like,
One of the things there that I want to touch on too, that I was like that too. I would try to blame people for why we didn't win, even at work. What is it? Go ahead. You say it then. You know it. What is it?
self-responsibility.
Extreme ownership.
Bro, I had oh my God. I didn't realize that until I moved out.
Yeah, extreme.
And so I
ownership.
moved out.
How long have you moved out for?
I moved out when I was 21. I'm 23 now,
Okay,
so
cool.
2 years, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man, that is one thing that has really, one of our values too in our company, extreme ownership. You take extreme ownership for
Everything you do.
It doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't. You know what that does, especially for people that are entrepreneurs? It gives you a sense of control.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I fucked up. Even though it wasn't my fault, I'll take full ownership because now I can do something about it.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're pushing that responsibility away and you can't control it. I want to feel like I can control certain things. Whatever I can't control, I'll try to control. So that gives me the sense of like, all right, it's my responsibility. I had to do that.
Yeah.
I can go deep on this, man, with extreme ownership.
Dude,
like,
that
really.
shit got me. Oh my God. Like when I would hear about it, but I would never apply it because I never lived through it.
Yeah.
It's until you live through it that you're getting home and complaining and almost wanting to cry because it was something you couldn't control.
Yeah.
You got to realize you can't control it.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
Like,
Look, for that, I don't think I've said this to my wife and my family before. Like, I've taken extreme ownership on the deepest, worst scenarios of my life. And you can imagine what that is, right? Losing my father. I take ownership 100%. Even though most people, maybe even if you talk to a therapist, they're like, "Oh, it's not your fault." No. I didn't do anything about it. I didn't try to get him screened before. I didn't do all this. What does this do now? I learned from all those experiences. I won't let that shit happen again.
To anybody.
To
in your
anybody
family.
in my family, to anybody. Like, I will share what I need to share. So I've taken full ownership of that.
Because if you have something, it could potentially
exactly. So it gives me that sense of like, okay, I've learned from it. Now I gotta apply it. Now that I learned, so I take responsibility in every single level, that goes on in my company. Everything, and I try to at least. Not perfect, but I try.
No, our mindsets are the same, bro. Yeah, hell yeah. Fucking man. Yeah, let's go. No. Self responsibility, bro. That was a tough one for me. Yeah. Definitely. When you live through that, bro, when you live through like not understanding you couldn't control it, it's tough. Yeah. You are so stressed, you'll lose hair. Like it's ridiculous, bro. It's bad.
It's bad. I'm telling you, it's easy.
Your body changes too, bro. Like, I swear to God.
Stress is real, man. I didn't realize it was real till recently. Stress is real.
Yes, bro. It's like your head wants to explode, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're thinking about so many things. You're like running in like a overheated computer. Yep. Literally, that's the best way to
exactly what goes on. It. Yeah, yep, that's true. Man.
Fucking your brain is just overdrive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, self responsibility is something I think people aren't gonna realize until they're put in certain scenarios or situations, right? Not only that, but knowing, not that you can't control anything, but the things you can't control, if that shit fucks up, like. Yeah, that's really your bad. Like now you can't even say, "Oh, I couldn't control that."
Give me an example of something you think you can't control, just so we can try to
the economy.
Okay, you can't control. But you can control your economy, which is the most important one, because you can't control the big. We really can't unless you're up there. So, what can you do to control your own economy? Get your skills, learn.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is like, what people need to know, though, is like what we mean is take control of your own life and take responsibility of your own life, right? What I'm saying is some people will try to be like, well, something will happen in their own life that they could have controlled, and they could easily be like, no, I couldn't control that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like now you're twisting the whole message of it, right? Sure. So I want to make that clear that you can't do that. Like it's not like...
You take responsibility for everything. Everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. You take responsibility.
Like if, for example, if he doesn't have that video up for a certain time, it's my fault. Because I could have made that podcast earlier. You could have
done systems in place, deadlines, or so. With all this comes
exactly, and it's like, bro, okay, how do I change this? Yep. Okay, let's try it again. 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 Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely a mindset that's overwhelming to a lot of people and intimidating to a lot of people. But when you're in this mindset, like you can connect with people, right? We know what we're talking about, like. When you're bringing something up, you knew what I was going to say. Yeah. I knew what you were going to say. Yeah. Yeah, no, the mindset, I think it's crazy. And it comes with so many, well, not from reading, not on my end, but so many podcasts from me. Like, so much content that I took in. So, let's talk about actually content intake. I didn't even think we were going to talk about that. But the content that we take in our daily lives plays a big role in our performance. Am I wrong or am I right?
Massively, for sure. You are what you listen to. You are who you're hanging around with. You are what you're consuming.
Exactly. So like, why do you think food? Yeah, it's like people that listen to drug trafficking music. They want to be drug trafficking, or they want to act like that. Yeah. Right. That's why you get these people talking about certain things, and then, for example, they're talking about certain brand. Now that brand is being sold and being worn everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You are exactly the content you consume. Sure. And as you can see, we consume the same content.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, content is definitely like super important.
I take a lot of things from Andy for solo.
Yeah, man, I'm in his group, Arte Syndicate. So
I've been in that for 4 years. With Ed Milet?
Yeah, with Ed Milet. I mean, those two guys.
Ed Milet's a killer.
Yes, man. He's great.
I love that guy too because he makes you think differently. So Andy gets you
riled up.
Andy gets you ready for war. Yeah. Like,
that's what you want sometimes. Yeah.
But then Ed makes you think logically.
Yes.
Like exactly. Ed is like your, these guys are like your two dads that like, you want the one that's going to get you ready for war. And then you want the one that's going to get you like logically sharpened, right.
Yes. Exactly. Sharpened. Yeah. So in that group, Andy is more like the practical guy. They both are. But more like the logistics behind the business, how to market, how to literally to the T. He breaks everything down. And then Ed Milet's more like the mindset coach that gets you ready. So Andy is very, very good at setting systems and procedures in place that we follow, and we get successful at. And then Ed Milet knows that it's up and downs. He's more like God oriented. So he shares that a lot with us too.
And he doesn't even live that far away from us, bro.
No, they're here. He's here.
He's literally like two.
Yeah, I think somewhere like
45. He's like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, he's not that far.
I know.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man.
I've been following him since I was 16.
Great speaker.
So I knew about Ed Milet and then like Grant Cardone when I was 16, but I really started following Ed Milet. Then I hopped on to Patrick Bet-David. Then I was on Andy for a lot. Now I'm back on Patrick Bet-David. But
your messenger. Everyone has a different messenger, I think. See, that's
well, you see with me, right, with Patrick, I think we share a lot of values. Mm-hmm. And then since he's a father and I inspire to be a father, and then being a father and running a business, so I inspire to be like your dad.
Yeah.
That's like my inspiration, right?
Yep.
Like to raise killers, to like how Patrick says, how to raise your kids, and then the type of mindsets you should have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like you are going for more of a different, right?
Yep.
Like perspective. And I'm going for a different perspective. Yep. So I'm like, okay, I want a family. I'm like, personally, I'm a conservative, so I want a family, I want a wife, I want all that, right? But how can I run a business and be able to provide for my family and provide them with a bunch of free time?
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I feel like I just fall in Patrick Bet-David's path a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And Ed Milet too, because Ed Milet talks a lot about relationships and family.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Andy doesn't have kids, but the other ones do.
Yeah, I know. Andy, I know. I was surprised when I learned about that.
He doesn't. He talks about it though. He said, God didn't bless him with kids, so maybe he has another calling, which happens. That's true. It happens. Maybe.
What's crazy is the Scars story.
Yeah, don't worry, he got stabbed.
Yeah, that's bro, insane, he got stabbed in the face.
Yeah, that dude has a crazy story, man, and he's a killer, man. He's a killer. That's why I relate to him the most.
Well, I'm glad that we have the same type of content too. But
Grant Cardone too. I followed him for a while regarding real
estate. He's extreme, man.
Yeah, he's cool. He's very
he's a guy I want to copy in content creation.
Because
he's a marketing king on social media.
Yes. He's really, really good. So yeah, I've learned a lot from all those guys too. There's some guys that people shouldn't follow either because they're fake prophets, but I think we vetted some. We vetted some already. I mean, through my experience, I've been consuming content for 6-7 years now, and I've seen the people that are real, and that's why I that's one of my values. Like, I'm real. I'll tell you the truth about everything.
I'm into.
Like
I'm blunt,
and it is what it is. And I like those guys because they're real. There's nothing. They have real companies that you can go to. Like you see First Form.
I've never seen his stuff though. Like at least not here in California.
No, his stuff.
It doesn't sell here, right?
Not as much. He's starting to get influencers out here now.
Okay.
But he's more from like the East Coast, maybe where he's from.
Mid City. Yeah. I mean Mid City, Midwest.
Yeah. So that's where he's at. But yeah, they're growing. They're growing for sure. I've seen a couple people out here with it.
I haven't seen anybody with it, bro. And I.
What do you see mostly out here?
Ghost.
What brands?
Ghost.
Oh, see, I don't see that much. It's probably in your age group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about like when I go to the store.
Ghost is the. You're talking about supplements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because First Form is
a drink, right? Ghost is a drink.
What is First Form?
First Form is a supplement company and a clothing company.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I mean by that. Like you don't see First Form at like.
Have you heard of Bear Performance Nutrition?
No.
Okay, those are guys that I follow too. That's Nick Bear. He's
interesting.
30,
but these are up and coming companies, and maybe that's why we don't know about them all the way, right?
Like First Form.
Well, First Form is big. I know that, but it's like he's not in California.
Yeah. They're not out here.
That's like in and out to Texas.
I never realized that exactly.
It's like Whataburger to us.
Yeah. That's funny. I never saw that. Yeah, because I'm just in my bubble. I don't really.
But then you got to also remember what does he talk about, so he probably just boycotts it.
Yeah, maybe it's true. It's true. He doesn't like it over here.
He doesn't like it over here, so
calls it Chinafornia. Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Oh, bro, that guy. Yeah.
He's real, man.
He's real, man. He's extreme.
Yeah. I mean, he's conservative, but he also talks about how
I like the conspiracy theory side.
Oh, this is fun, dude. I mean, it's fun. It makes you think.
You'd be like, damn, bro, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is real, man.
And then he puts his tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. I love that guy.
Oh, I like him and DJ.
Yeah.
I tell everyone, Adrian's my DJ,
bro. That's funny how he gives younger people the opportunity too. And he's like 44, I believe. And DJ's like 28, maybe. So he's pretty young.
Oh, DJ's he looks older than me, bro.
Yeah, he's older than me.
No, I said older than me. Yeah. What I mean is he looks older to me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's hit 30 yet.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's great. No, I love their podcast. And I tell them, too, I sent them their story one time when they're in, like, the tank.
Yeah, that's dope,
going
huh?
through his, like,
Yeah.
freaking farm.
Sick,
I'm like,
yeah.
dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is.
those
I'm
are
like,
goals.
I told him, bro, that's going to be us in Texas.
Yeah, man.
Because I want to move to Texas
Oh, do
eventually,
you?
yeah.
Sweet. You do need people like that to look up to too. Like that's what I want. You know, I want that type of lifestyle.
Hell
You
yeah,
know?
bro.
So it's
Like,
dope to follow
after the
people like
podcast, go in your tank,
that. right? How
ride
sick
it
is that?
around, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
man. So it's dope.
and I'm pretty sure where he lives, if he wanted to, he could fire it.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, that's true. But yeah, man.
He lives in like the middle of nowhere, and then
Yeah.
he'd be posting his
ass
chapéu,
house,
like
yeah.
bro, in the forest.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
That dude's dope.
I want to live in the middle of nowhere like
Yeah.
that, bro. Like,
I haven't decided where I wanted to live yet, but sounds fun. Middle of
I
the
told
forest.
myself in the middle of nowhere with airstrip,
Nice. Hell yeah.
so that way I could like just fly into
Yeah.
Torrance,
Wherever.
you know,
Yeah, they got airport here.
Compton,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
the little airports.
Yeah, that's dope. Hell yeah, man. Those are good goals.
Yeah.
Love that. I love
Oh
that.
yeah, and just be in the middle of nowhere, be
Yeah,
remote and
Yeah,
discreet, you know.
yeah, exactly.
But this is the end of the podcast, Ralph. Is there
Sweet.
anything you want to leave us with, or you know what? Let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
If to an 18-year-old entrepreneur out there, Latino, Hispanic, what advice would you give them?
Patience more than anything. Patience is not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 5 years. It's not going to happen maybe in 10 years. Play the long game. Entrepreneurship is probably one of the hardest journeys I've ever taken. It's ruthless, and you might lose more than likely. But if you win, it's the best feeling ever.
It's a throat coat business.
It's super cutthroat, and also, I mean, just play the long game, man. Play the long game. Play till you're 50. I think society has really tried to condition entrepreneurship as like get rich, flex, and it's not about that. Entrepreneurship is about serving people. Remember that you are an employee, legit
To the
employee
people.
to your people.
Yep.
The better product you give, the richer you become. In every way possible. I like making people happy with our services. I like making my team happy. So do it for the people. Entrepreneurship is about the people. It's not about the money. It's not about the cars. It's not about the dinners. It's not about the flights. It's about none of that bullshit. The real shit about entrepreneurship is helping people and serving the world for better. So build companies that make people's lives better. That's what you got to do. That's entrepreneurship. And don't think you're going to quit at 30. Don't retire. People don't retire from entrepreneurship. They're entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs.
For a reason.
Yes, they don't retire from entrepreneurship. So that's what I would say
Nice.
for 18-year-old.
Nice, man. Well, with that being said, Latin with, we're going to let you go. All money and no money else. Stay dedicated, stay motivated, and we'll see you on the next one.
Vaya folclórico, oye, disculpa la tardanza y los dolores de cabeza, ¿sabes? Agradezco tu paciencia y esta gran oportunidad. Dile, ya tú